Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Morning Discord, morning YouTube, let's get into it. Okay, so I'm feeling a little under the weather today, so if I'm not too talkative, you know why. I just don't feel well. I think we're gonna try VWAP today. We're at VWAP right now. We're at all-time highs pretty much. We're in the liquidity box for all-time highs. So we're gonna see which way we fade. We're gonna trade light today because all-time highs. We want to see if we're gonna have a pullback or if we have some momentum to push us forward. So let's look at the 30-minute chart really quick. So if you look at yesterday's price action, the strength in it, this is either we're either building, this is momentum building for the bolt for continuation, or, so if you're in the Discord, this is a concept we should be aware of, right? So one of two things is gonna happen. Whenever you see a very strong angle like this, one of two things is gonna happen. It's either gonna do this, okay? Or it's forming a head. Those are the only two options. Those are the only two options. Now you have this information, right? You have this information. What are you gonna do with it? So if you want a little confirmation for either direction, watch. If we get down to this level here, we need to take out this liquidity here. We got to watch out for this, for the bolt as well, right? So there's 1, 2, there's really 3 places that it could bolt up. So on the way down, you'd be excuse me, protecting your trades on the way down to look out for the rejection at some point if it wants to continue up. Otherwise, your safety is probably going to be, for the longer term, probably somewhere underneath this purple. Or this purple here. Here, let me update it. Yeah, probably around this purple here, right? So these are the scenarios. If it wants to head down, you're protecting your trades on the way. If it wants to head up, you give it some room. Why? Because we're in an uptrend. So if you're with the trend, if you're following the trend, then you don't have to put your stops too tight. All right, back to the action. We didn't miss anything. We're still pretty much at market open. I'm gonna wait a little bit till I generate some algos, so let's be patient today. We want to see what happens when we get to the top of if we do break all-time highs, right? Let's wait for deep structure confirmation, okay? One or two candles, not good enough. One candle, we need to see like an actual motion, you know what I'm saying? Like this. Not one or two candles. Meaning it's not going to be like one candle, and then back. Not that, right? We want to see like some, like this. Some real strength to it. Some deep move. So now we know what the ideal setup is, right? If it doesn't present itself and you're not comfortable with it, then don't take the trade. This would be the ideal trade. If it doesn't look like that, then you don't have to take it. You lose nothing. Okay, so we're above the water. We're gonna test this high. This is gonna be our strong buying channel, so I'll wait a second before I start. I guess I could start. We'll start. Okay, we see the liquidity box we're in, right? You see the two options. Okay. Now let's play the game. So we're above the water, legs are spread apart. However, we know we're coming up to resistance right here. I'm actually going to change this to green. I think I'm going to start using consistent color codes for certain moves. I'm going to try to do that, so we always have an idea of certain colors. Don't stay married to this green anytime. We just need time. We need more data. We can't make an informed decision unless we get data. So the more data we have, the easier it is to trade. It's really hard to trade in the opening minutes. So if we get a weak bull cycle above 67.29, then we're expecting it to look something like this. If we get a weak bull cycle, this is what we're something like this for our long entries. But obviously it's got to be outside of this range, right? We probably shouldn't be messing with anything until we break this range. And the reason why is because you don't know when it's going to turn around. You have no expectation of, I mean, here's what we do know. Buy put on the top, buy call on the bottom. That's what we do know. So we got to see when this liquidity box trend breaks, right? Call on the bottom, put at the top. Call on the bottom, put at the top. Call on the bottom, put at the top. We got to see when this pattern breaks. And when it does break, we want to watch out. We want to look out for a fake out. So as long as we have our plan of attack, stick to the plan. If it doesn't happen, then you lose nothing. There's no trade then. Sometimes these plays take hours to develop. I'm gonna let a full, what I'll probably do is let a full bull cycle and bear cycle go by, and then we'll start making some calls then. I think with more time, with more data, we have better results. So I'm gonna hold back because I'm realizing now that a lot of people, as soon as they see a path, they're automatically jumping on that, and they don't realize I'm showing the possibilities, and I'm showing what needs to happen in order for this to happen up here. Excuse me. Basically what I'm saying is all of this needs to happen, especially when we get to this area here. So I'm really counting on my last flexion point to show me where my entry should be. I need this flexion point to show me, excuse me, to show me how deep the pullback should be. So all of it has to make sense, right? And then the reason why I want to measure the pullback is because I'm going to start to add in market structure. I need to start asking myself, does this price action match up with the market structure? For example, is there a head and shoulders playing out here? Is there a cup and handle playing out? So it may sound like you got to keep a lot on your mind at the same time. It may sound like that, but with repetition and practice, you'll see that all of it becomes second nature, and it makes sense. It'll start to make sense. But in order for it to make sense, you got to start. I know it sounds horrible, but you got to feel that pain of taking a loss to learn what not to do. Pretty much like, you know, when your mom or dad taught you how to swim, they had to throw you in the pool. And you had to learn, oh, okay, I need to push the water away from me. You had to learn that, right? So this is the same concept here. See, look, you see how easy it is? If this was our thesis, none of this happened, no trade, right? We at least needed to break above and then retest with strength. Not, even this was a little shallow. You know, earlier this morning I said strength. But this example, if we had a weak bull cycle, we don't know if we're gonna have a weak bull cycle yet. So we'll be patient, right? We wait for the setup. It has to make sense. We don't have to be in every single move. I'm just trying to show you what to watch out for excuse me, in the future, because we want to be prepared for the next move. We don't want to be caught off guard, because when you're caught off guard, then you start to panic. As soon as things go the wrong way, you start to panic and you start to revenge trade, and you know the ugly cycle. Look, puts on the top of this liquidity box. If you didn't do it and you didn't make money from here to here, there's nothing I can do. We already went over this, right? There's nothing I can do. Now, if you didn't stop out here, you see what I'm saying? We see the pattern. You see what's happening. So if you want to, we want to look for a fade either this way or this way. And a fade has patterns. Very simple. Very simple. All this is pattern recognition. Once you recognize the pattern, Once you recognize patterns, then you recognize your entry. Now, once you start trading your patterns, meaning your setup, your strategy, once you start trading that, and you know the market has pitfalls, there's going to be stop hunts, there's going to be whatever it is. Once you implement your method and you start saying, okay, I'm taking losses doing this, I'm taking losses doing that, you can adjust your strategy. Okay. All right, let's test to see if magenta is going to be our down for the day. I don't think it's going to be magenta if I'm honest, but this is what we got for right now. We need more time to develop the other algo. Trade light, right? You're still in this in this liquidity zone. Let's see what. Okay. I think I'm gonna use a 5-minute for this example here. No, might use a 30. On the 30-minute, we're above the water, maybe entering. We still have room for some down, but we might be entering a bull cycle. So just be patient. You see the pink ranger, right? All right, pink ranger. Here we go. Discord knows what that is. 5 MA at 63.75. Check on VWAP. We're right. Hold on. Let me zoom in. Okay, let's do this. We're on VWAP. Let's see, so we broke VWAP. I don't know if you can see it, but we broke VWAP. It looks like we're retesting, so we're gonna see if we reject underneath VWAP. And then if we reject under VWAP with some strength, right? If we get an actual move with the break of this magenta, we might have something. So I know you see these two candles broke this magenta, but I haven't adjusted the magenta because there's a reason. It's hard to explain, but I don't know how to explain it. This is what I see, so I'm not gonna move it. I know it's not pretty, but I'd rather be right than pretty. I'm keeping this magenta for a reason. I know you see the bottom, because generating algos is not just finding top and bottom. It's not. If it was that easy, everyone would be rich. We're pretty much at market open, right? We haven't had any movement. We're still in this liquidity box. There's no movement here. So you shouldn't be too antsy on the trigger. If anything, set your alerts. I'll set the example. Now, if you really want stress-free trading, wait for your alerts to go off. And then when they go off, then you come back and monitor the price action and you make an assessment. So I didn't move magenta because for this time right now, this is the algorithm. This magenta is the algorithm. I didn't move it because of this, but I believe this is the algorithm. It's not down here. We'll see. We're testing it. So we're right on VWAP. So the break, retest, reject, we're right on VWAP. Wait for some strength. I shouldn't even be saying that. We need to be waiting till we break out of this liquidity box, right? So if we were to split this liquidity in half, let's say make a half channel, and we need to decide where the momentum is heading, this is how we're gonna do that, right? Let's split it in half really quick. Probably somewhere right there. I'll do this just so we can see it. Now, do we have more here? Do we have more on the top or the bottom? This is probably a subjective measure. Purely subjective. There's no way really to measure this, but you tell me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe we can see where the momentum's heading, right? Maybe we can see the fade based on the price action. But at all-time highs, you better watch out for that that pullback, that rejection. So this week bear cycle happened underneath 667.29. Okay, let's see if this is enough liquidity built for a break on magenta here. Be patient, set alerts. I'm here, I'm just being quiet. Oh man, did we just get like a really high above the water right here? Really high above the water now. I'm interested to see if it breaks and just starts. Okay, alerts went off. All right, now let's pay attention. See what we got. Breaking to the upside. Okay. Gotta wait for that close, right? We need a close above, not the wick. We want a strong close above. And remember, right? This morning, don't forget, I told you, the idea would be a strong move up, not one or two candles, right? If you're looking at one or two candles, you're not looking at the bigger picture. Now, if it does do one candle and shoots out, I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do. I'm telling you. We went over the risk management yesterday in the homework, right? How to protect. Yeah, we're struggling to get above 67.29. How many rejections here? 1, 2. Let's see if this is going to be the third. Looks like we're the liquidity trap between VWAP and 67.29. Okay. Still in this range, so don't, you know. Anyone take puts at the top? Okay, I adjusted magenta just a little bit. We're still in this range. Don't be married to any one direction while we're in this range. Take your profit when you can and get out if you're scalping. We're stuck between 67.29 and VWAP. So you see all the liquidity building up, right? In this magenta. If you haven't taken any trades yet, you did the right thing, because there's no trade here. If you're taking trades, there's no setup. If you're taking trades before, I don't even know what the setup was, but okay. I just want us to be a little, just look, I know you guys want to venture off and it's exciting and fun, but please just let me guide you for just a little bit, and then, you know, just a little bit longer. Trust me, it'll be worth it. If you're taking trades now, there's no setup here. Okay. See, at least, let's say, I'm not saying 2 because it's, you know, we have our range here, but I'm saying at least if you waited until, at least you have something to go off of, right? Meaning we broke this we broke this liquidity bot, or yeah, we're gonna break this liquidity and at least head down. Maybe we can get something until 66.11. This would make more sense to me, because at least you have, you're going off of something. It's not just vibes. You see how shallow these cycles are? Look how shallow the cycles are. 1, 2. We had 2 bull cycles, and we're in our second bear cycle. Look how shallow. No movement. No movement. Let's look at the higher time frame. Yeah. This is what we have in the 5-minute. I don't know if you guys are looking at your 5-minute. All right, 30 minutes is 30 minutes is sideways, right? We're above the water, but in a bear cycle. Above the water in a bear cycle is sideways, right? Because we're fighting 2 different. So the current is above. However, you see it's pointing down, but we're still above the water. And as long as you're above the water, you have strength to the upside. This is the current pushing you, right? So as long as you're above, it's keeping you floating. But when you see that it's pointing down like this, you're floating, but someone straps some weights on you. So it's a little harder to float, right? And then once you get below the water, then you have, then you're swimming down pretty much. So just be patient. We see our pink ranger box. No need to jump for no reason. I think now we can finally test our magenta. A little more built up. Let's see if the last liquidity grab before the down, or if this is going to be a momentum candle up. So I'm saying last liquidity grab before the down, right? Because I'm thinking, if it wants to have a strong move, it needs to grab liquidity from somewhere and then push. And the only reason I'm saying down is because it looks like we're going to be breaking this magenta. So you're at a 50-50 right here. Are we grabbing liquidity to head down, or are we grabbing liquidity to head up back to 67.29? We don't know yet. But we're still in this box. So where's the trade? You tell me where the trade is still inside this, in this lick box. Okay, now I see something. Here, watch. Now we got more data. It's gonna be easier now. Hold on. Okay, looking better. More data makes it way easier. See, we needed a couple cycles. There we go. Looks better. Now just be patient. Wait for your setup. easy money. Protect your trade, right? Don't stay too committed to anything here. Here's why. Look, is this going to be a momentum? Are we pushing up to grab liquidity for the rejection? Why am I saying down? Because we're breaking this magenta, right? And we can only target till bottom, hopefully, right? That's what we're hoping for. You gotta chase this because you know you're in a tight range. So if you get stopped out, okay, take your profit and move on. Or if you're holding for bottom, then hold. We're below the water. Your best bet probably just to let the MACD close. I'm here. I'm just going to be quiet for a little bit. We went over how to protect this yesterday, right? How to protect against the stop hunt. If this is, we don't know if it is. We're still in this lick box, so there's nothing to do in this lick box. Just wait for the box to break. I mean, you see, it's pretty simple. We don't know what's gonna happen. Wait for the box to break. At least you have some idea. All right, let's see if we got this. So ideally, we'd like to see the price retest 67.29. Maybe hit this magenta again and then some strength off. So for this play to act, we want to see this. If this is the play, right? If it doesn't look like this, then that's not our entry. Okay, Discord. Let me make sure. Okay, Discord, listen up. Look what happened right here. Now, I want everyone to go and look at the homework, the answers to the homework that I sent, and you decide which play would have been optimal on the break of whatever, right? Break of, let's say it's break of magenta. You tell me, I give it a little more time, but you tell me, based on what we see right now, right? We have a break of this thing here, which I didn't actually highlight it. Let me give it a 2. A break of this thing, and it's a 2 because we're still inside the lick box. Look what's happening here. The break of this magenta. So remember, you got 3 options. So go back and look at those options that I sent out, and you tell me which would have been the best at this point here. You got to give it a little more time because technically we're still in this purple. So give it a little more time, and then you tell me which one is the best option that based on yesterday's homework. Because yesterday's homework is playing out right in front of your face. This is it. This is the risk management that I went over yesterday. It's right here. We're in it. And remember, it only works if you get filled. You know, you have to get filled on the line. This is how it works. Now, the ability for people to do that I don't control that. If you want to put an order entry on the line beforehand, like let's say, you know, you have puts at this line already ready, fine. That's how you can do that. If you're waiting for the candle to get here and you're trying to fill market order, good luck. It's going to be really tough to fill exactly on the line if you're trying to fill market order, or excuse me, below the line. And then even still, you know, ideally I'd say we like to see a close below. A close below. So yeah, this isn't, it's right on the line. This is a tough one. So, but this is how it works. If you are able to get in exactly on the line, this is how you do it. Look at the homework, and then you tell me which one played out. And then you need to start saying, oh, okay, whenever it breaks, this is where, it depends on your risk tolerance, right? So you need to ask yourself, when it breaks, where is my risk tolerance at? Right? Are you always going to protect against a stop hunt, or do you have faith that it's going to run? Now, if we were like breaking below 66.11, you know, then you know, you probably let it run a little bit. But while we're still in the box, you know, you got to be tight on your, and I always tell you, stop trading inside the lick box. You got to have something to tell you. So the micro setup is, the micro algos are actually hitting pretty well. So if the micro algos are hitting well, micro algos are the algos within the algo. So here's what I mean by that. Let's say this is your dominant algorithm that you're in. Your micros are the let's say the ones that are inside of here. So your broader trend is the magenta. I'm just giving an example, but your micros are in here, right? So the micros are enabling your continuation in your dominant algorithm. So all these micro or mini algos, they're hitting pretty well. Be patient. You see what happens at 67.29. You see what happens, right? So this means you can only, if you're getting in, like let's say on this flexion point here on the bottom of magenta, you know, you got to watch out for 67.29. You can't expect anything past that. Why? Because look, it's been rejected every time. So have your expectations set realistically. You have to know where the liquidity lies. Plenty of liquidity right here on this level. Plenty of liquidity. Look, especially at all-time highs, you better believe there's a ton of both orders, right? Both, a whole bunch of buy and sell orders. We need to figure out who's going to win. And then when we get above here, we need to figure out who's going to try to stop hunt. That's why the bet, I mean, your best bet is to wait for this, right? The break and retest of this liquidity level for long, for calls. Your best bet for puts, somewhere underneath here. The rules haven't changed. I don't know if you guys noticed. The rules haven't changed. I'm simply showing you risk. If you want to, if you're the type that's risky inside in the micro, fine. I think we had a trader scalping in here. Okay, that's fine. But as long as you understand your risk, and as long as you understand that there was no call out made here from me, as long as you understand that you're doing that on your own, this is then fine. You know, you're learning, you're taking your risk, and that's part of growth. That is part of growth. I just hope, you know, if you venture off without me, you take your time. Take your time. We're at market open. Markets move nowhere. Set alerts. I'll be right back. If you listened or if you read the analysis this morning, I told you, do not be married to a position. Have no bias here. We're at a point where it's a 50-50. So your bias has to be 50-50, and I showed you why. I showed you why. On the trading plan, I forgot to put the range, but pink ranger, right? You see the pink ranger? I didn't draw it. I didn't draw the path though. Okay, we're above the water, probably heading into maybe a bear cycle. This is sideways. We're just going sideways. You know what's another thing we need to look at? Let me see if the everyone's paying attention. Okay, look. Look. So look at our, can everyone see my screen? If we look at our stochastic, what I did, I put my upper band and lower band pretty much to the extreme limits. So if you're trading with me, if this stochastic goes up here, this is when we're in the overbought territory, and if it goes down here, we're in oversold territory. So if it kind of, like in this range, look, you know, it's in a range. That's kind of how you got to view it. So when we get above and start crossing, that's when you're looking for, that's when you have more momentum or a better chance for more strength down. It has to be in the overbought territory. Overbought is up here, somewhere up here, and I did it extreme. I did extreme lengths, so it's a little more secure if you use, you know, if you want some safety entries. Remember I told you how to use the MACD and stochastic together? It only works when the stochastic is in overbought or oversold territory, leaving it, right? So if we're in oversold territory, leaving oversold territory, meaning we should be leaving a bear cycle, starting a bull cycle on our MACD, and the green should be above the red on our stochastic. So the stochastic should be down here trending up, and the MACD is going to do, is also same thing. So that's how you use the stochastic, or that's how we can use the stochastic. Now remember, when enough time's gone by, we are going to assess the homework, which strategy would have worked best, and then you need to start keeping tallies or tabs, which one had the best result, and then you'll know your strategy. So I'm showing you the options. You can come up with your own trading strategy based on the results. I gave you 3 options on how to protect against what happened here in magenta. I gave you 3 options. So this is why we do the homework, and every single day the homework always comes into play literally the next day. So these concepts, they work, the majority of the time. Completely sideways. Let's let the lick box break. Okay? That's the answer. Keep the homework in mind right now. Remember I told you, look at the homework. Keep the homework in mind. There's 3 options. And I even made it on a nice, neat Word document so you guys could use. All right, let's see if this purple star. Okay, looks like maybe in purple again. This tight range. See how the algos are respecting, the micro algos are working. So yeah, if you're gonna scalp, you see the tight range you're in. You got to get in and get out. Okay, Discord, I want you to pay attention to what's happening. Pay attention to what's happening. I want you to look at the options I gave you yesterday. There's only 3. This should be a quick read. Right? And the concept, I think I had on there the break of yellow, right? So the break of yellow. Now it's the same thing, but the break of magenta. Apply it here. Just opposite, because I think it was the scenario was call setup there. So this is just a put setup. This is a confidence level 2. Confidence level 2 because we're inside the range. Discord, I want everyone to pay attention really quick. This is what a pattern I want you to look out for. It's really hard to, it's a judgment call, but look, I'm gonna draw it kind of over here. You can tell when a movement, let me make sure everyone's paying attention. Everyone paying attention? Okay, listen. You can tell when a movement is losing strength when the mountains or when the peaks start to lessen, meaning lower highs, right? So you need to start asking yourself, are we getting lower highs? You need to start asking yourself these questions. Clean up this chart just a bit. So look, we know, look how perfect this was. Our call entry was, it needed to do this. It needed to bounce off of this. So that never happened. Right? So your only entry would have been the put entry. And you got three options, right? Option one, you get in here, you put your stop right there. If it goes against you, you lose nothing. Option two, you hold for retracement, for victory. Option three, you 84% rule back in. If it didn't work the first time, 84% rule says the next time that opportunity presents itself, it's gonna work. Look. Look. So, look at the homework. Pay attention. If you need help understanding what I'm talking about in the homework, please DM me. Let's set up a one-on-one, because there's no reason why. You know what? I'm going to teach you these concepts. You're going to learn it. It takes time. That homework hit absolutely perfect right now. Absolutely perfect. Remember, you always get another bite at the apple. Usually you get another bite at the apple. It's very rare that the stock market touches price and just decides to turn around. Or it's very rare that in the middle of a move it's just going to turn around. Not impossible, rare. You see your risk tolerance. You see the risk, right? You know you're in this box. If you're taking the micro, don't hold on to it too long. You got the guardrails up. This probably needs to be a little thinner too. But I'll leave it. So look, this never happened. It never happened. This was a easy non-call setup. It needed to fade up and it started fading down. Right? That's all I was asking you. Look at the mountains. Which way are the mountains going? You'll start to see it. It takes time. You'll see it. Don't rush it. I implanted the seed in your mind, and now you know what you need to look out for. You're in this range. Don't overstay your welcome. Take your profit and call it a day, or take your profit, wait for the next setup. I told you these micros are working. They're working. You just gotta be, you're inside of this, of your main movement. So you're working within the main movement. Now let's see if we start creating, all right, look, we got the mountain here. It went slightly higher over here, and now we're getting a lower mountain. So let's see if we're gonna start to get lower mountains now. Now, if you took break of magenta and you're out on purple, then okay. Little tiny move, you know the range is tight, okay. Take your money and leave. If you made money in this tight ass range, you win. You win. If you were to make money from here to here, or even a dime, you're a winner. Because look at this. Look, this is It's hard to do. It's not easy. Let's see if we reject under VWAP again. It'd be nice if it rejects while still in purple. That'd be nice. So we gotta see if the legs close here to start our weak bull cycle, or if, yeah, we want to see if we start a weak bull cycle or if a strong bull cycle. So we'll know. Discord knows what a weak bull cycle means, so technically still inside purple. Do you see why I'm saying don't stay married to any of these positions? Let's see if you get another bite at the apple. Let's see if there's another bite at the apple. When I'm saying bite at the apple, I'm meaning to at least come a little closer back down to this level right here. After this, after the next bull cycle, that's when we need to start taking our measurements of our option strategy, or excuse me, of our strategy, our stop loss strategy, our risk management strategy from the homework. After this next bull cycle, that's when you need to assess, okay, on the break of this thing would have been the best option. So you're building your repertoire as a trader. And you need to decide, are you the type that's gonna scalp and get out? Are you gonna use the guardrails that I put up here? Are you gonna use your close of the MACD? I give many ways to to take your plays. Now, if you're still in this play on breaking magenta, you need to ask yourself, can I hold for a weak bull cycle? At what point am I going to say, okay, this is not a weak bull cycle anymore? Meaning you need to find a resistance, and then that's where your stop needs to be. And your resistance needs to be somewhere in profit. Still inside purple. You need to take all this time right now and decide what trader you are. Are you the type that's gonna, get out here because you feel, okay, there was a good move, I don't want to wait for retracement, which is fine? Or are you the type that says, okay, I have a guardrail on purple, purple is my exit. Magenta was my entry, purple is my exit. You need to come up with this strategy on your own. I've given you the tools to start doing that sort of stuff. So right now, if you're in the play, assess your risk, put your stop where it's gonna be, and leave. That's what I would say if we weren't in a tight range. In a tight range, you gotta monitor your trades. Let me just be clear on that. Still hasn't closed. The MACD still hasn't closed. The legs aren't closed yet. You're still in magenta. Figure out which trader you're gonna be. You're gonna trust this strategy or not? Look, you can't be wrong twice in a row. It's really hard to be wrong twice in a row. Let's say you, I don't know, for some reason decided to take a call here, even though the calls were above the liquidity box. If you decided to, and you get stopped out, oh well, you know where the next setup is, right? This should have been an immediate stop out, by the way, because it never even, I think the play was like this, and it never happened. So this was, you know, pretty simple. It never even, this was easy trade. Okay, you know what? Now you can review your homework. It's fine. Review the homework and decide which one would have been the best play. And then once you decide which one can be the best play, the hard part comes, which is, can I, as a trader, do I have the ability in my emotional state to hold or to let that play out? Because that's the hard part, right? Is, you know, look at these. I'm pretty sure. Look, everyone wanted to get out when you see this. Oh no, let me get out now. But I had guardrails up. The MACD never crossed. So there's no reason to leave the trade. If you're not, I'm repeating the same thing over and over and over, and I'm going to keep doing it until you understand what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to tell you is there's risk management. It's impossible to lose twice in a row. Not with this strategy. If you follow it properly. Come on now. Look at the money that's been printed on break of. And look, where do we say the target most likely is? Bottom. So buy puts at the top. Buy puts at the top of the liquidity box. This was said this morning. Nothing more I can do. The only setup we had, honestly, was the break of this magenta. And even though it did this, if you follow the homework, it worked. Right? Because the last low, it would have worked. If you take the last low, it would have been here. Or, no, the last low. If you took this one. So it's got to be last high. Yeah, so it's got to be up here. So if it breaks down here, if you did the last high, it would be up here. Yeah, you'd have been stopped and got back in right here. And then look, Bob's your uncle. You win. Or if you did the last key level, because that's on there as well, right? Key level, top of the lick box, that's on there as well. Go look at the homework. It's on there. I literally wrote this out. And look, do you see how it rejected inside? It didn't break above. That's why I said it needs to be on the top of the lick box. But look how this one just barely broke the lick box just to grab the liquidity. Right? So give a little bit of margin of error because, you know, they're looking for stop hunts. Easy money. Easy money. Who took the two? Okay, to target. Easy money. Easy money. Let me check in. Okay. I trust you with your life. You saved your own life. What does this mean? What am I missing? Okay, I'm missing something. It's fine. I don't know why Discord isn't... I gotta figure out why it's not telling me the... Because I can't hear it and I'm just talking my butt off. Okay, good job. Good job, Dre Day. I took the second bite, meaning, oh, on the rejection of purple right here. If you took the rejection of purple, you're an absolute savage. Absolute savage, because that means you trust. What? You trust the strategy? You actually trust the strategy? No way. Get out of here. Someone trusted the strategy? Okay, back to the action. Sorry, took a little breather for a second. Look at purple putting in all this work. Look at purple putting in all this work. Oh, let me check in. All right, there we go. Rich, we're rich already. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. I love it when the market does exactly what what we say it should do. Look at the money. Look, breaking magenta. Okay, Discord, I want everyone to pay attention right now. I need everyone to pay attention. Everyone pay attention. Everyone pay attention. I'm gonna give you a couple minutes to look at your not even a couple minutes. I'm gonna give you a couple seconds to look at your screen. Dang, I gave a couple seconds and I forgot what I was gonna say. Sorry. If I remember. I literally forgot. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm old. What's your excuse? You know what sucks? I was about to give y'all some fire. I forgot. Man, don't get old. Do not get old. It's the worst thing. All right, now we close. It looks like we're gonna close above purple. This on single contracts is your exit on the close above purple. But if you're a multiple contracts, you're below the water, yada yada yada. Look, exactly on target. Buy puts on the top. Okay. Nothing more I can do. We used magenta for confirmation though. Oh, this is what I wanted to say. Okay, wait. Is everyone here? All right, I got it in my mind now. I want everyone to pay attention. Look, this is what I want to say. Okay, look at the liquidity in magenta. Let me make sure everyone's looking. All right, cool. Look at the liquidity in magenta. Okay, so you see it broke here and then the retest. Here's what you need to understand. You gotta have some type of faith. Exit single contracts. Single contracts, you should have been out whenever I said it. Anyways, you gotta look at this liquidity buildup. Visually, I need you to absorb in your mind what you're seeing. Look at all this price action. All this price action right here in magenta, okay? When I'm saying price action, I mean the very sharp up and downs within this tight little range. Like this is a lot of liquidity built up in this little range here, right? When you see liquidity built up like this, when it breaks the liquidity, you need to have some type of, you don't need to have it, but put in the back of your mind that this liquidity break has strength and that, you know, the pullback to retest is building up the momentum that it needs. So here's what I'm trying to say. Whenever you see big liquidity built up, don't let, you know, the fake out, that's what I'm always telling you. Hold for retracement. If it breaks, you can hold, you gotta hold for the retracement because you gotta understand liquidity is built up. It's already built up. And when it breaks, you kind of got a better shot at the downside in this scenario, just because of how much liquidity built up. Now it broke, they're gonna retest and then reject back down. Okay, so single contracts, I think you can see why I told you to get out, right? Multiple contracts, you got another bite at the apple. You got another bite at the apple because you're below the water. So you can't overstay your welcome here. Now you really got to monitor it. So the reason why I have single contracts, multiple contracts separated is because single contracts, you should be at a certain risk tolerance. And that risk tolerance at a certain point should be very minimal. until you get to phase 2 and phase 3. Then you can start adding some risk, but I would prefer single contracts if until you're in. Ask me what phase you're in and I'll tell you, in my opinion. Single contracts until you build up your account. Multiple contracts, you'll start to learn this stuff. You got to be comfortable with the strategy first. We had a really good, amazing Discord member play that took the rejection. This was a really, really ballsy play, but I think we went over it the other day when I was like, look, you guys think you missed the play because it went by like 10 or 13 cents, and you're like, oh no, the play's gone. You got to stop thinking like that. Yesterday I actually showed you, I'm like, look, we can get in right here. We're in the middle of the we just left the liquidity box. We just left the box. We're right here. You can take a trade right now and still win because you know where the target is, and it worked. Multiple contracts, you see why. You see why, right? You get another bite at the apple. Single contracts, I'm protecting your portfolio, and we're gonna build it slowly and gradually. Multiple contracts, look, this is how we make money. There's a strategy. Now, did I know that this was gonna happen? Of course not. Wait, what the heck? Oh. Alright, technical difficulties. Is everything still working? Okay. I didn't know that this was gonna happen. What I did have an idea of what could happen. I knew based on probabilities, because I've seen it so many times, I know that my best bet is to hold on to my second tranche of contracts and allow the second bite at the apple. It's very rare it touches once and just goes away. Very rare. I'm not saying it's impossible, rare. So once you understand the risks, once you understand the probabilities, you can have an edge. You need an edge. Now, now on those multiple contracts, I'm probably gonna start moving the stop now. Here's my second bite at the apple. Now I'm gonna move the stop. First set of contracts out. Second set, I'm monitoring. I want another bite at the apple at 66.11. So, but I'll put my stop like right here. If it goes above this, then I'm out. I'm gonna move my stop till above this candle here. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out. I don't care. Okay, good play from Break of Magenta. 84% rule back in. 84% rule states, if your entry is the break of this magenta, if it didn't work the first time, 84% of the time, when the opportunity presents itself again, it'll work. Oh no! Oh, come on. I think they just stopped me out. Okay, I don't know why that stopped me out like that. It shouldn't have stopped me out. Oh, come on, man. Okay. I'm not sure what happened. My computer like kind of went weird, and then my order stopped out, and what happened? Okay. Technical difficulties, I guess. Okay, another bite at the apple. There it is. They just made me. That's fine. I just had a little glitch on the computer, and oh man, it's okay. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna let the market settle out. Puts on what is this? Puts on the top. Calls over here. I'll be right back. Don't overtrade. Here, just in case. Nothing's changed, right? Break lick box, pink ranger. I'll be right back. Don't overtrade. I'm here, I'm just being quiet. I'm trying to eat. I'm here. There's no action, so I'm just not talking. I got nothing to say. So I want to see maybe if there's gonna. Might be a little tricky here, starting the bear cycle on the above the water. It is above the water. It's right at the water line, so might be a little tricky starting the measure risk to reward. You see the range you're in, so take your own risks. Oh yeah, Amazon, man, I forgot to tell you guys about Amazon. How they had the lawsuit. Easy money, protect your trade. Easy money. Look at the money. Easy money. Don't overstay your welcome. Look, you know you're in a tight range. You see the breaker here. This is where you're targeting, right? You got to protect this aggressively. You got to protect this because look at the. It's a very tight range, so you got to be on it. I'll be right back. I got an email. I'm responding to it. So if you send me an email, look out for the reply right now. Give me a moment. Profit target hit from break of, okay, alerts going off. See what happens here. It's tricky because you know it's been rejected every time, so little tricky. Are you gonna wait for the MACD to close, or are you gonna take your profit on pink? Figure it out now. Decide your strategy, what type of trader you are. Hey Discord, got a question for you. Do you see, I'm gonna clear this real quick. Oh no. Do you see the are the mountains getting higher or lower? That's what you need to ask yourself. If you took break of magenta here to profit target, we know this is all for the pink ranger is going to be a break and retest, but because there's a lot of liquidity built up, it might be a weak retest. See, this type of liquidity makes me think of that when pink breaks, maybe it's going to be one of those where it just cascades in a direction. But I mean, I'd still feel a lot more comfortable with a break retest. This is where I feel like the opportunity loss, I'm going to lose out on the opportunity to make more, right? In the homework section, when I'm talking about opportunity loss, the risk of opportunity, that's what I'm talking about. Meaning I could have made more, but I played it a little safe and I didn't make as much as I could. Opportunity risk. See if we get another bite at the apple. If I'm honest, I thought this was a little thin liquidity, but it was enough to get us to the profit target, that's for sure. But this magenta right here was a little thin for my liking. But it worked. It's, you know, stick to this. Okay. Okay, let's see what we got here. Convincing below wicked. Let's see what happens. Wait, what? So we see this wick right here has some interest below the pink ranger. Leg spreading, we're below the water, leg spreading. Okay. I'm here, I'm just being quiet. Look at the 30 minute. Look at the 30 minute. Look at the 30 minute. It's just touching on the 30 minute. All right, let's see what happens. So on our 30 minute, we're approaching our pink ranger. We want to look for the microstructure that says we're gonna break. This might be it. We see the, let's see if the mountains are getting lower still. We need a weak bull cycle here. Or for the legs to open back up, either one. Okay, I took this break in magenta. I probably should have took profit, but I'll just put it so I can at least collect fees, and then if I need to get back in, I'll get back in. So got in here, probably got, you know, I didn't get exactly on the line. So let's say I did worst case scenario, and then a little extra for my fees. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out, and I can get back in if I see more downward pressure. I probably should have took my profit here, but let's hope for this weak bull cycle. I actually don't care. All right, stopped. Well, hold on. Now I stopped. Okay, stopped out for break even. Literally, actually break even. I was able to cover fees. All right, we'll see if it opportunity presents itself again. Look at the 30 minute. We're just dancing on it on the 30 minute. So let's wait for the structure that tells us we're gonna go down. We're still in the lick box. We're still in the lick box. Remember, I told you, it can't just be one candle. You want to see some strength behind it. Ideally, we like to see some strength behind it, not one candle. Remember when we did this this morning, when we did that whole thing? All right, look here. You see how this high and this high are pretty much equal? So maybe we have weakness in the move because they're equal now. We wanted to see a lower. So this is good because it went lower, but now it went back higher. So we'll see if this stays low or if this gets back above. So it looks like our entry for calls is going to be above VWAP, targeting 67.29. Calls is going to have to be like this. Like this. Right, we want to close this cup like this. Don't start worrying about calls until we get above this this level here. Okay, look, look, look. See what's happening? Below the water. Let's see if we get let's see if the MACD and signal line crosses. If it crosses on pink, that'll be pretty good. But we'll see. Be patient. I'm right here. I'll be right back. Don't overtrade. Blue is confidence level 2 because we're in a tight range. We're still in the pink ranger. So you see how we have like equal highs right here? This makes me think that maybe there's weakness coming in. Weakness to the downside. Because if we're getting lower, 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 now we're all of a sudden starting to trade sideways, right? This is sideways. Then it makes me think there's weakness. This was good, but we didn't get the break retest below. So we needed this break retest below. So pink's holding up. Blue's a confidence level 2, don't forget. And let's say it breaks blue right here. There's a lot of liquidity on VWAP. Look where VWAP is. So measure your risk to reward. If we can build strength off of VWAP, watch. If we can build strength off of VWAP and blue at the same time, that'll be confluence. So you see the equal highs here. So we want to see this, right? We want to see these equal highs get broken, retested, and rejected, which would make sense with our break, retest, reject of our blue, right? This blue is rough. This blue's rough because there's a secondary liquidity right above. Okay, I think this is a pretty solid setup now. Okay, now we're looking pretty good. All right, clear as day. That's what you're contending with. Does everyone see it? Does everyone see it? Okay, Ron, here you go. Does everyone see what's happening, right? Look, now that we have data, look how much easier it is. Now that we have data. Here, I'm gonna mark out this equal high I was talking about. I'm gonna make it, let's see. I'll do this random color. Let me clean up this chart because it looks like a, I don't know, it looks horrible. Okay, we all see what's happening here, right? I'm gonna get rid of it really quick because I wanna show you something. All right, watch this, watch. All right, Discord, is everyone paying attention? Where's Discord? Okay, good. So we're in blue until we're not. Watch out for this secondary liquidity up here. We're in blue until we're not. I think I can. This blue needs some work, but okay, we'll go with that. It actually, it needs to be here. This is where it should be. I'm not going to try to make it pretty. Okay, Discord, how does this look? Look, more data. We got more data. We're still in a tight range. I get it. We're still in a tight range, but now we know what needs to happen. Now we know what needs to happen. And, you know, we might need to adjust this and extend this lick box a little bit, but here we go. Look how easy it looks now. It looks easy, right? We just needed more time, more data. We just need a little more data. And you see how I'm using this 6673? You see how I'm using it? Because I recognized, look, we're looking for lower highs. You see how, you see what I'm trying to say, right? We identified lick. Now we just got to see which way it's going to go. Easy. Watch. I promise you one of these two things is going to happen, right? I promise you. And when I'm saying one of these two things, it's, you know, break to the upside, break to the downside. Worst case scenario, it stays right in here, right in this range. Okay, I want Discord, I want everyone to pay attention really quick. Discord, this is very important. Everyone listen. An ideal setup for us right here would look like this. Let's say this is our lick box. This is what it would look, this is what we want to see. we want to see like this, maybe this, and then this. So this is the type of pattern, inverse head and shoulders, in the lick box to tell us if we're going up, right? You see it? This would be ideal. If we see something like this, now unfortunately sometimes it just goes choppy like this and you can't really tell. But if you see something like this here, you understand what I'm trying to say now? I want to make sure everyone understands what I'm saying, right? This move here, in order for the move to go up, we would like to see an upwards pattern. Maybe it looks like this. Maybe it's like that, you know? But we need to see a pattern that tells us the direction. We need to see momentum. Whenever you see the dance right here, this is momentum. Because we're riding the wave of the whales. I'll be right back. Don't overtrade. I'm right here. I'm just being quiet. All right, let's guide off the 5. We're in the blue until we're not. So I'll try to overlay this, excuse me, this blue with the 5-minute blue. So if I have to leave, which I do shortly, you'll know what to guide off of. Look, pink is still holding up, okay? This pink ranger is still holding up. What is it? 6602. So we're really close to the pink ranger here. So let's see if we start our bear cycle while crossing below 6602. Excuse me. I'm still here, just being quiet, nothing to do. We gotta wait for this break. I'm gonna put another, I'll do 6602 there. This secondary thicker, oh wait, why does it say 07? Wait, there. Okay. So this thicker 6602, this should represent the 30-minute. I'm still trying to finish this bread. I'm still struggling. It's halfway done. One slice of bread, I can't eat it. Everyone in the world is waiting for pink to break right now, right? You have to understand that. Everyone in the world is waiting for this 6602 to break. So there's going to be some evil scientist behind the scenes that has an order right here, a whole like $500 million right here in calls to stop you out. You don't know that. We don't know that. So, but you have to be aware that everyone in the world is waiting for 6602 to break. All right, which way are we fading? Which way are we fading? For the wins for the day, I'm just going to count I'll count 1, 2, 3 magentas. It'll be this one, and this one. Magenta is literally the only algo we had for the down, and it's only been down, so there's only magenta was our only entry for puts, right? Because our call entries were above 67.29. We may have had a opportunity here for a call, but it faded down. It never bounced off this magenta. Okay, coming up to 6602. Let's see what happens. Right on key level. Let's see. Let's get a convincing close below. We're below the water. It's hesitating here. It's hesitating. Tons of liquidity right here. Tons of liquidity. Is it gonna break up or down? we're at our 50-50. We're at our 50-50 for the bolt up or for the maybe this head to form. What are they doing? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? What's up? Make your move. We're all trying to figure out what to do next. Let's see if we get a weak bull cycle here. Well, actually, the legs haven't crossed yet, so. Legs haven't crossed yet, so wait for the legs to cross before we're concerned about a weak bull. What the hell's going on? Did everything just pause? Or did the world pause? Are we on pause? What? Why isn't anything happening? Okay, it's still ticking. What's... Okay. 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 Protect your trade whenever you feel comfortable. Protect your trade whenever you feel comfortable. Did you doubt me? Did you doubt me? Did you doubt me? Who? Anyone doubted me? I don't know why. Who doubted me? Protect your trade. Protect your trade. We're on the bottom of blue. Protect the trade. Who doubted me? Pink Ranger. Pink. Look. Look at the money we just printed. Break a pink. I highlighted it. Break a pink. Look at the money. Easy money. I told. The call entry was here. The call entry was here. Our puts were here. This is very simple. You only had one there's only one option here, right? There's literally only one option. The price had to get way up here before we even started looking at calls. Our put entry was on the break of pink. I told you the entire world. Wait. Let's back up. This is what I told you. Look, we're about to start a bear cycle at the key level. Didn't I not just tell you that? I put up the guardrail for a reason. Come on now. If you didn't collect, there's nothing I can do. I'm doing everything I can. I don't know, man. I want us to trust this. Look at the money we just printed. All we had to do was wait. Look, the trading plan only had 2 options. Literally only 2 options was the trading plan. Yesterday it had, I don't even know how many I had, like 4 or 5. I rarely only have 2 options. Rarely do I have 2 options. We had multiple the day before. Look how easy this is. You just had to wait. And if you take profit here, fine. You did your job. Stress-free. Look, as soon as I put up these lit boxes, everything went stress-free. I told you, one of these 2 things is going to happen. It has to. Once you understand this, this is when you start to make this a business. It all starts with the understanding in your mind. This is an emotional roller coaster. You have to be a robot. You have to be a robot. You can't be in the stock market and be and be twitchy. It's not a thing. Trust the system. Stop worrying if you see one candle go the other way. Even if it stopped you out and it didn't work, don't let it affect you because you know where the next entry is. Here, watch. So this happened. Let's clean it up. Let's look for our next setup, right? The next setup is going to look like this. Bang, bang, and bang. If this doesn't happen, right? Break a blue. You know what the call setup is. If you're risking, you're going in here, that's on you, right? I've always advocate for the right shoulder. I'm a right shoulder type of dude. I always advocate for the right shoulder because this is what shows you momentum. Now, let's look for a retest of pink and a rejection of pink. If you're looking for puts, look for a rejection of pink. If you're looking for calls, wait for this top pink, 6611, to form support. And then, also above our blue, right? Because our blue is our entry. Stress-free. Stress-free. Take your money and leave. All right. Today's been, it was a choppy kind of day, but yeah, we had our plays. We had our plays. We did fine. Far below the water. You're hoping for a weak bear cycle here if you want to get it on your puts. Discord members know what the weak bear cycle sounds or looks like. It'd be ideal if we stayed under pink. We need to stay under pink for puts, if you're in puts. So if you waited for the break and retest, you protected against a stop hunt. Or I mean, you could have easily made profit from here to here. What is this? 02 to 56. Okay, this is a good move, right? Half a point move. This is a good move. If you're expecting more than half, you know, this is plenty of money. Be patient. See if it rejects underneath. You see the patience we had to exercise over here, right over here. I was like, what's going on? Did the world just pause? Because everything looked like it stopped. Just need to be patient. I'm here, I'm just being quiet. Look, if you didn't take the retest and reject of pink, I don't know what else. There's nothing more I can do. You understand? Like, I'm trying so hard to, like, I don't know. I'm trying very hard to teach you guys the patterns. If you didn't take this, you know, and also, you know, you gotta you chase this, right? Don't give anything to the market. We knew this was gonna, I mean, we didn't know, but we knew the risk, right? We did know that. Because I literally said it. I actually said it before it happened, right? If you're still in puts, wait for the rejection of pink. Don't If it goes above pink, then you're out of puts, right? Another bite at the apple. You always get another bite at the apple, usually. Usually you get another bite at the apple. Let's see, we need to extend this one over. And then we're gonna give this one like this. There we go. Okay, again, for the homework, assess how you would react to this. On the break of this pink, what would have been the best option here? Assess what type of trader you are. Meaning, I entered here and I was able to hold for the retracement. Or I entered here and it went against me and I stopped out and I 84% rolled back in. Come up with your plan now. Don't wait until you're in the trade. Figure out who you are now, so you know what to expect ahead. This is managing risk. I'm gonna mark out lower day here. You know why it's stress-free? Because I told you we're in blue until we're not in blue. We're in blue until we're not. So if you know you're in a downtrend, you look for your entries on your puts, right? And our downtrend entries were magenta, magenta, magenta. I don't want to put one here, but kind of have to. All right, we're getting thin now. We're getting thin structure now. So you can't hold on to this much longer. The thin structure here. Now, okay, actually we're still in purple. Still in purple. Again, figure out what trader you are. Are you going to use the MACD? Are you going to use key level? Are you using the guardrails that I put up? Figure out your plan. Figure out the plan now. If you want, write it down. Write down what you're going to do before you do it. Measure risk to reward. Lower day is right here. So if it breaks this, I didn't want to put this, but I kind of don't have an option. If I'm staying true to the strategy, I have to put this here. I know it's thin, but you know, risk to reward, risk. I'm telling you the risk, right? I don't want to put this magenta here to make people think, oh, okay, break magenta, going on puts. This is thin structure. We're over. Look, we're just leaving oversold territory. Look at the stochastic I was telling you about. We're just leaving oversold territory. I'd be a little cautious here. I want a little confirmation here. You know, maybe I'd even like to see a test of blue again before we head out. Before we make another leg down, but this is an ideal situation. An ideal situation is, here, watch, let me show you. Let me show you what I'm looking for. I'm already thinking, right? I'm already thinking. This is what you need to already be thinking. I'm looking for this to be a shoulder. I want this to be a head, and I want the other shoulder to be right here. This is what I want. This to me is an ideal setup. Even though it went back to pink, I know pink has liquidity. You see what I'm saying? I know it has liquidity. So if it hits pink and then rejects, okay, I know we're building. If it hits pink again and rejects, or if it breaks above pink and goes back in, we grab liquidity. If it hits pink again and rejects, I know we have the strength. So the head formation is liquidity grab. Now you need to figure out, is it going to grab liquidity and head up, or is it going to head down? This is where you look for your fade. Again, This is ideally what I like to see, but you know, I'm just playing by the rules. I'm playing by the rules. I don't want to put this here because the risk to reward is too small, but this magenta has to be here because this is what it is. I'm just identifying risks. That's it. We're still in purple. Oh, and by the way, this lick box down here, don't forget, this lick box was drawn far in advance. Far in advance. This is no surprise. We drew this lick box, and this is when I said way over here, like, look how easy it is now. Look how easy it's gonna get right now. Do you see why I told you I didn't want to have to put this here? Because the risk to reward. Now, if we get below here and start trading below, okay. But I know there's liquidity built up here. So, yeah. We're still in purple, though. So let's add up all these factors together and let's see what's most probable. We go off probabilities. Nothing has changed. I just cleaned up the chart. Nothing has changed. I 100% told you, I guarantee one of these two things is gonna happen. I promise you. Go rewind the tape. Very easy. We knew once we get under pink ranger, that's our winner. Alright, let's see what we got now. Alright, so is this the same setup where we're at key level and then starting a bear cycle? Let's see. And we're below the water. So let's see. Technically still in purple. If we get a big bounce here on this key level, that's probably a liquidity grab, right? If we get a big candle right here like this, it's probably going to be a liquidity grab, and then you're going to start to see strength build. So you want to see strength on key levels, important key levels. Strength meaning, you know, like a strong candle. Okay. Okay. All right, listen up. Now that we broke blue, one of two things is happening. We're either starting a stronger selling channel, or we're gonna do a liquidity grab. Watch. Or we're gonna liquidity grab. So if we break in this blue, we might start a stronger bear cycle, or it might be a liquidity grab for the up. So be patient here. Okay, I got another few minutes here and then I gotta head off. I'm gonna step away for a second. Trade light. Hold on, ask yourself this question really quick. So we're in oversold territory on the MACD and the stochastic. You need to ask yourself, is the MACD moving upwards towards the zero line? Are we building a couple cycles upwards, or are we building down? This is what you need to figure out here. So look, the MACD's at this level here, and it's, you know, a little higher. You need to see if we start having cycles trending upwards now. This will give you the idea that we're doing this. If we reject under here, okay. Okay, I'm gonna be patient. Okay. Okay. I'll be right back. Don't overtrade. So just to show you, you know, on this break of magenta, you heard me, I didn't really want to put it, but I had to, and this is why, because it still should be here. It doesn't matter whether I like it or not, it still should be here. So because of that, I waited for a break retest. Now I'm holding on, hoping we get some strength out of it. I have my, it's in profit, but it's in profit, but it could easily stop me out for a loss at this point. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Now I gotta wait. I'm just gonna leave my stop on 57. I'm gonna leave my stop there. Actually, I'm gonna leave it. I'll be willing to take a little tiny loss on this, only because I got in late. I didn't get my proper entry. I got in late, so yeah, I had a late fill. Bad fill, bad fill. Now I gotta survive the pain. Now I need to figure out where I'm comfortable with. Do I want to stop the bleeding and get back in if I need to, or just wait for the next setup to look the way I want it to? But this one's probably gonna stop me out. But very, 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 very little dollars. Come on, please. Let's go. Come on. Come on, please. Please. I'm at a point right now where if I even move it an inch, it's gonna stop. I can't move it. I'm stuck here. I just need a little bit more daylight before I could actually protect the trade for break even. I am exercising patience. Let me tell you, I wanted to. Okay, let me get one more candle. Let's get one more candle. Woo! Easy money. There we go. Okay, needed that. Now we're good. Hey. Okay, look at the money we printed. Just following the strategy. That's all we had to do. Now I'm safe. Don't care what happens from here. Easy money. Okay, I did not like that at all. I didn't like it. It made me uncomfortable because I was like, look, it didn't do what I wanted. It's okay, you know, fine. We stuck to our plan and it worked. Easy, 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 easy. Don't overstay your welcome. Yes. Okay, here we go. Look at the money. I told you if we break blue, we're looking for a stronger downtrend. Now we gotta look out for the to see if it's gonna form a head. Easy. This is easy. Oh, I needed that. I needed that. Remember I told you whenever you see like a strong angle in your MACD, this would have been impossible to foresee. That would have been impossible. There's no way you would have known that. I took this trade. I didn't, I should have taken it on break of magenta. It was thin structure for me at this point. I waited for confirmation. My confirmation was a break, retest, and a reject of this key level. I walked through this entire process before it happened. Every step of the way since we put up these lick boxes, every candle basically has been called out. We know where our calls are. We know we're in a downtrend. We're looking for put entries. Our put entries are usually where? On magenta or on our key levels. When the key level and magenta happens at the same time, come on now. I don't know what more you want. I'm literally saying, is this confluence question mark? I'm saying it out loud. Because I want you to learn the thought process. So next time when that scenario arises, you're ahead of it. Now you know what you should be thinking. Gotta adjust that purple. Easy money. Easy money. We do it every day. No surprise. I hope everyone's starting to sore loser. Why are you sore loser? Ron, what does that mean? Wait, how? I'm not sure how you took a loss. If you took a loss, it's your stop. It's your stop loss placement. It has to be. This is the answer. If you guys are taking losses today, it's your placement and stop loss. It was breaking magenta and liquidity box. All you needed was liquidity box, breaking magenta. Look at the money we're printing. Now ask yourself, are you a trader that's getting out on what is it, purple, or are you getting out on the cross of the MACD? Which one are you? Have your plan already in place. It already needs to be in place. Meaning, when this happens, I do this. When this happens, I do that. If this happens, I do this, right? You be ahead of it. Don't allow this to like, all right, wait. Remember what I told you about like a strong angle down? Let's see if we get a strong angle up. Let's see if we get a strong angle up or we get a continuation here. This head that I put here, this is just me eyeballing the situation. If it hits, then they need to donate my brain to science, but don't go off of this. I'm just showing you kind of what it needs to look like, right? We're still in purple. Oh my God, I have to get out of here. I can't leave because I have to take care of this trade. Are you what trader are you? Are you a guardrail trader? Are you a MACD? Are you a key level? Figure it out. This is something you have to figure it out on your own. Oh my, look at the money we printed. Let's go. Let's go. Me personally, I use a hybrid of guardrails and key level. I use a hybrid. Look at the money we printed. Today was such what a great day. What a great day. And look, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but we are 100, look at the money we're printing. We are 100% on our Pink Rangers. If you're watching YouTube and you have no idea what Pink Ranger is, you got to join the Discord. If you're interested in learning how to trade like this, send me an email to LiveSPYTrading@gmail.com and I will get you sorted out. Let's see. Is 64.48? All right, let's look at the 30 minutes, see where, oh man. Okay, we know we're gonna look at the lick box right here, right? We're entering this new lick box. We're in the new lick box. Okay, see it? Look at me. I am way ahead. Look at me. Oh my goodness. Way ahead of the game. Look. Okay, I promise you. Well, you saw. I didn't look over here to know that there's a liquidity box here. I did not look over. This is just me. I don't know. It takes time. That's all I can say. It takes time. This takes time. You'll get it. I know you will. Because it's patterns. Human beings are very good at pattern recognition. Very good. We are chemically trained to identify patterns, or biologically trained for survival and safety. Look how perfect the day played out. In the morning it was a little rough, but once we identified blue, once we identified the lick box, it just took time. Everything got easier. Now, if you're taking calls here on the lick box, I'm not saying to do it, but I'm saying I get it, right? Because you understand, clearly we're closing a cup, right? We're closing a cup. We're probably going to make a handle, right? We close the cup here. Now we want to form a handle. The handle formation is telling you if we get continuation. If we don't form a handle, meaning, look, if we get to somewhere like this, and if we don't start rejecting around here, you better start looking for this inverse head and shoulders to play out. Look, do you see why I told you I get it if you want to take a call here? Because here's why. You have two reasons why to take if you want to take a call here. Number one, you're testing this liquidity box. Number one. So it's we like to see it. You always get a second bite at the apple, right? So if you're testing the box, you're seeing if it's going to test it again. It's a possibility to test it again. So if you take your call here, you're either betting on the scalp on this handle, or you're betting on the continuation to the upside. So that's why calls here, it's not a horrible idea, because you have two reasons why you think it's going to go up, because you're at a flexion point. So it's most likely you're going to have some retracement because you're retesting a level. Why is this a level retesting right here on Lickbox? Because I identified it while you were still sleeping. While you were sleeping, dreaming of what you're going to do with your money, all the debaucherous and felonious activity you're going to do with the money that you're making, I was making lick boxes and charting. Second bite at the apple. Second bite at the apple. Let's see. Are we going to get a second bite at the apple? Usually you do. Not every time, but usually you get a second bite at the apple. Okay, we might be crossing here on our MACD. The play might be run its course. If you're looking for puts, you're looking for a weak bear. We want to stay preferably underneath 65.57. If there's liquidity grab, maybe a little bit above for liquidity grab. Otherwise, your calls, you see where they are, right? This hasn't changed. This has not changed. I'll just redraw it. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. I'll leave that one. Do you see what needs to happen now? Look at your, oh, I'm on the 1 minute already. I thought I was on the 5 minute. Look at your 1 minute. If it's gonna go up, this needs to happen. I don't really see a half channel inside blue. Let me see if there's a half channel in blue. That's what I got. I don't know if it's legit. The original blue is legit, obviously, but this half channel, I don't know. I'm trying to give some type of guidance here, meaning each blue could be a rejection, right? Each blue could be a rejection point, and at a certain point, right, you're building liquidity to the other side. You get it now? Does everyone see what's happening? Does everyone see what's happening? Yeah, hold on. Okay, yeah, I got you on that. Okay, good. Okay. Clean up the chart just a bit. Oh, I have to leave. I have to leave, but I kind of don't want to. Okay, this candle right here, this green one stopped me out, so. I mean, I think that was a really good move from, how much was it? 65.57. Well, if you did it the right way, it would be. That is this full point? No, hold on. 59. Okay, half a point. Yeah, that's good. A little more than half a point. Remember, I told you, if you want to buy calls on the lick box, I don't blame you. I get it. It makes sense because you have two reasons why. Either you're forming a handle here so you can scalp the handle, or you're forming an inverse head here and you can trail it all the way up. If you were to buy a call here, I get it. It makes sense. But you know you're in your downtrend, so you got to protect it at every level, right? Every flexion point, you got to protect it because you're in the downtrend. Oh man, look how much the legs spread apart here. Look at the momentum building now. Let's see if the MACD gets above the zero line. Okay, so let's see. If I were to do it properly, right? So break a blue right here, confidence level 1. That was a winner. We're going to see confidence level 2, and then we're going to see confidence level, oh wait. I guess we'll put 3 here. There's also secondary liquidity, which I almost forgot about. Don't let me forget secondary liquidity. Okay. Okay. Look, I told you over here, this is a momentum candle. I just said it out loud. Don't overstay your welcome. Try to listen to the lessons I'm giving, and you know, the paths on the screen are just it's a tool to use, but it's a tool to use. Yeah, I'll say that. But try to listen to what I'm saying, because I'm telling you what I know, right? I'm telling you the things that I know to be successful. So confidence level 1, confidence level 2, confidence level 3. And look, when it does get, you know, let's say if it gets back up here, if it does, you want to see it, you know, kind of do the same. You want to mimic it. All right, I got another, I don't know, 7 minutes, and I'm gonna have a hard out 7 minutes. You see why I put the guardrail here? You see why I put the guardrail here? Remember I told you, I literally just said, you gotta watch out for this, then you gotta watch out for that, right? I actually just said it, because you're in a downtrend. You can't fight the trend, you gotta protect it when you're going the opposite way. Still, you're wondering, is this the handle forming? Don't forget about that handle, right? The handle still has, you know, technically, I think the pink. Yeah, pink bluish. Yeah, so this all makes sense. All of this makes sense, because this cup and handle still has until here, until it breaks structure. I wouldn't be surprised if we break below green and then just form another green like wider. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. But we know what the entries are, right? Your call entry somewhere up here. Your put entries when that handle forms, okay? So let's see if, there we go. Now look for microstructure inside this magenta, right? Let's look for, see if you get a shoulder ahead and another shoulder for this. Okay? I forgot what this was. Oh, okay, that's if it breaks. Okay, that's this. Got it. I'm gonna erase this for right now. So let's see if we stay inside of this blue and then start getting higher in this blue and then start getting higher in this blue, right? This will tell you which way we're trending. So we broke this lick box. We tested this lick box. We retested this lick box. Now we're gonna retest this lick box. All right, we're gonna see if I'm gonna extend this green over just a bit. Let's see if we get above. If we get above in the MACD, then I might be extending this green over a bit. It's dynamic, right? So when I'm doing these guardrails, it's not easy, but I kind of know what I'm looking for. I kind of know what I'm looking for, and this is what I'm saying when I'm saying it takes time. Wait, what just happened? When I'm saying it takes time, just to recognize patterns. Let me see what happens when we get above. If I need to move it over, I'll just wait until it happens. I'm not going to try to front run it. No reason to front run it. The market will tell me what I need to know. Look, if we get back in this lick box, if we get back in here, start thinking the other way. Now we're in the downtrend. You don't want to fight the trend. You'll know the trend is over up here. And why is that? Because look, we had lower low, lower low, lower low. We need to form a high, a higher high, and a higher high for the uptrend. That's why the uptrend has to be starting around here somewhere. Otherwise, you're still in your downtrend, in the long-term downtrend. Oh, Ron, I wanted to ask you, you said maybe I should wait for this type of move. Are you talking about this little right here? Is that what you're talking about? Okay, yeah. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying this is deep structure, right? When it dances here, grabs liquidity from 57, or excuse me, 65, 57. I don't know if you remember me saying this, but I literally said everything that was gonna. Anyways, it doesn't matter, but yeah, so we see the dance, we grab liquidity, and then maybe another dance, right? This is, to me, you know, this is what I'm looking for. And then I'm going to assess based on confluence, right? Am I breaking key levels? Am I breaking an algo? Am I starting my bear cycle? Then I'm going to start to account for all these things. So Ron, whenever I'm saying wait for the setup, this is what I'm talking about. This is the setup. Now, look, over here, we had nothing. There was no real, this is just side chop. So the only way we knew this is just the fade to the next level, right? We didn't have any actual structure to tell us what was gonna happen. I'm just showing you, ideally, we wanna look for microstructure within our liquidity to give us some direction. I should have left almost an hour ago. Okay, I got a little while longer. I know I keep saying that, but I gotta get out of here. I'll be right back. Don't overtrade. Be patient. You got to take a couple things into consideration here. Look how high, look how close you are to the zero line. Doesn't mean anything because look how close you were over here, right? At this level, you were really close to zero and it rejected. So you see the pattern that happened before. Let's see if that happens again. You know, if you start breaking some blues, think the other way. I'll be right back. Don't overtrade. Look at our 30-minute chart. Excuse me. Our 30-minute chart possibly shows some widening of the legs. I'll be right back. Don't overtrade. Easy non-entry, right? Because you know you have to wait for the break of magenta. Very simple. Look, we could still be forming this head, right? Was this a momentum candle here? We could still be forming this head. Let's look to see if we get back inside of this lick box, right? That's why I have it here. Okay. Okay. What are they doing? Look at this. Oh, because Powell. That's right. Okay, okay, okay. We're going to start to see some big red candles coming in for a pullback. Don't know yet. Let's see. Is Powell speaking right now? Okay, come on. All right, let's see what good old Romy has to say. Okay. All right, all right, all right. Okay. I need one more candle. Okay, here we go. Let's go. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. I need one more candle. Okay, let's see. What's he saying, Sonny? Anything good? Now we get the barcoding. The head's still in play. This was impossible to catch this, so this was literally impossible. I got in late. I stopped out on this candle stopped me out. I got in here, normal stop loss. It wasn't anything crazy, but yeah, this one candle stopped me out. No big deal. Live to fight another day. Still green for the day. That's all that matters. I'm just glad I didn't over leverage. I had such a bad fill and I put my stop at the top of the candle, so it was pretty much this full candle. It's all good. And I thought about moving it to here, the last high. And I was like, you know what? No, I'm not gonna do it. Now I'm wondering if I should have. We'll see if I need 84% rule back in. I don't even know why I'm sitting here doing this. I need to leave. We're stuck between lick boxes. So full transparency, this candle stopped me out. I thought this was going to be a momentum candle. I got in, I got a horrible fill, probably at the very bottom, and then this happened. So can't win them all, but I tried, so it's all right. Oh, okay. You're driving and trading and all this shit. You're talented. If it shoots down from here, I'm gonna be so mad. I'm just gonna rage quit. If it goes down, I'm gonna rage quit. I'm actually gonna throw my laptop across the street. And I'm going to tickle some kittens until they get mad at me. Oh my goodness, please don't. I'll probably take maybe one more trade if it presents itself, but this hurt me. Not the account, but just my feelings. Right? It was this, pretty much this full candle. This full candle stop. So that kind of hurt. Not really. I mean, we're still green, but you know what I mean. It's like if you had $5 in your pocket and you went to go reach to look for it and you're like, hey, what happened to that $5 that I had? What did I do with it? And then for the rest of the day, you're just like not feeling right because you know that $5 is somewhere. That's what I feel like. Look at this stop hunt, man. Come on. This is... It's okay. I'm going to spend another 4 minutes on here, then I got to go. And maybe maybe the getting chopped up here was my sign. Man, it's been a while since I It's been a really long time since I had this much drawdown in a trade. This full candle here. It's been a while. I'm affected by it. I am deeply affected. But you know what I did do right? I had my plan, right? My out was supposed to be on the break of magenta. You know, I did a little bit. I gave myself the candle to give it some room. So, you know, I stuck to that plan, so I'm happy with that. I didn't allow it to go too much against me. But it happens. Can't win them all. The 5 is not far away. All right, 2 more minutes for me. All right, look, we're in blue until we're not. Now you see what this means. Hopefully you know what this means now. We are in blue until we're not. Pullback at all-time highs, not crazy, right? Not the craziest thing. I got about another minute here. All right, Discord, let me see if you guys got anything for me. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up here. YouTube, it's been a pleasure. If you're interested in learning how to trade like this, send me an email to LiveSPYTrading@gmail.com and I'll get you sorted out. Bye.